What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Uncle Rizza. We're talking Forza Horizon 2. Wow, what an effort. What a way to follow up a very dope game with some great potential. They really found a way to drag the potential out of this one. So first, let's get into the graphics, obviously, right? That's what a lot of people like to hear when you talk about racing games. This game's beautiful. I mean, all the cars are really nicely detailed and everything just works. The one thing that, even from the announcement, that I thought would have been a problem and continues to be a sticking point for the fanboy wars was the 30 frames a second, down from 60 frames a second in Forza 5. Does that make a big difference? No, not really. But I will say that the game is a lot less smooth than Forza 5 was. And this is for obvious reasons, right? This game is a sprawling open world environment, so the quality's got to come down somewhere, somehow. And speaking of open world, it's beautiful. It's set in somewhere in Europe, in between France and Italy. Whatever, man. This game's got so much to see, from countrysides to, I guess, mountain roads, you could say, are really high up there. And then you've got the really nice drives by the seaside that I really enjoy. And you got a lot of little villages, and each village got its own characteristics, and the roads are different all the way through. And then you've got tons of fields to haul ass through, and dirt roads. I don't know, they did a really good job tying all of that stuff together. And what really makes it work to me was the fact that this is the raw Forza 5 engine. So in terms of physics and even in sound, so the first Horizon, it was close to Forza, but it wasn't quite the Forza full simulation engine. Here you get a lot of that, and man, I tell you, it's so rewarding to really get a hold of this in the game that frees you from the tracks, the same monotonous tracks over and over. It's such a joy. And you know, you guys know me, I tune a lot, so to be able to take my tunes and apply them to these vastly different racing environments, it's a joy. I mean, I changed the way I tune. I literally tune each car 3 times now. You know, I tune one for circuits, I tune one for long runs, and then I tune another that's in between. So it's been a really enjoyable experience for me. And right along the physics is the newly added weather. The weather sort of does change the way the cars handle, and it can be challenging depending on the car you're in. But overall, I think there wasn't enough done here. It definitely feels like something that's not finished or that's half baked. And I keep making a parallel to Project Gotham 4. Anyone has ever played Project Gotham 4, you know what weather is supposed to feel like in a video game. This isn't it. This is on the way to that, but this isn't it. So I was kind of disappointed, or I was really disappointed actually, with the weather effects here. In terms of sound, the game sounds amazing. It seemed like they bumped up the sound of cars around you. You know, you can sort of hear muscle cars and a lot of these V12s and V10s coming from a little ways off. Maybe you can hear them a little too well. These guys are like something like 50 yards out. You can hear them like growling. They're only doing like 50 miles an hour. Or maybe I just got my Astros up way too loud. I don't know, but the sounds are amazing, man. And you know, couple the engine sounds with the environmental sounds and hauling ass through a cornfield, you really do feel like you're getting on beside yourself here. That's a good thing. In terms of the single player, there's a ton of events, man. It seems like they're almost endless sometimes, and there's different types of events. So there's the sprints, there's the street races, which keeps traffic in the game, and there's a lot more traffic in the game. And based on the time of day, you know, like midday, you'll obviously see a lot more traffic out, and then midnight, not so much, which is dope. But you got the street races that keep the traffic. You got the cross country roads, or the cross country races. I'm sorry, and those take you from regular roads to dirt roads to gravel roads to straight up and down off the road. And I actually don't enjoy those much. And they make for some dope rally racing in a lot of the trucks in the game. And going back to the physics, what I will say is that a lot of these pickup trucks will tear these rally cars apart because they've just got like the raw power and they just meaty tires, and it really makes for some good racing. And it's interesting to see. There's a clip, one of the homies sent me a clip where he chose to haul ass off-road, and my drivatar was sticking to the road, and I actually beat him. And it's interesting to see that dynamic, right? Like, it's a very free roaming environment where there's almost very little invisible walls, what we call them. They're in places that make sense. So it's interesting to see people make that decision. You know, should I cut this corner? Should I cut this field? Versus, do I stay on the road at full speed and whatnot? That I think is a dope dynamic. And the drivatars, oh my god, exactly what I just explained to you is what makes the single player part of this game so unique. The drivatars just do crazy shit. Like, they're just always battling each other. Even when you're not in a race, you follow these guys around in the world, man, they just do some crazy shit. I feel like I love the drivatars in Forza 5, but I feel like they're really unleashed here in Horizon. Like, they literally do anything, whatever they, and it's hard, man. Some of these drivatars are really fucking hard. It gets annoying sometimes, but yeah. So coming to the online, we've got that online free roam where it's you and about 8 other people, and I pretty much drive around. And while you're driving around online, you have the ability to start individual races on the map. You can even set waypoints and just haul ass. Like, we usually do highway runs. Those are always fun. And there's also the online road trips, which are, I guess it's a series of races, and you complete each race for points. So the higher you are, the more points you get, and at the end of the 4 races, whoever's got the most points is the winner. So that's also dope. There's little annoyances here, like, you know, when you're going to pick a car online, they only give you about it used to be 20 seconds. Now they increased it to 30. It's still not enough, and I get it. You want to minimize the time people have spent in lobbies, but when you get about 50-60 cars in your garage and you're trying to pick one, you're indecisive. This is a problem. Most of the time I end up picking a car I didn't want to drive, and then on top of that, there's no way to load your tune while you're picking a car. So you actually need to have the tune loaded on the car before the race starts, or before you go to join the race, which that's a little annoying. That needs to be fixed as well. But the other really significant part is the club, the car clubs. This is probably the poorest part of this game, and I'm really annoyed with it, actually, because we have about 180 members in our car club. Shout out to you guys. And I create a lot of tunes to go back and forth. There's a lot of communication in my inbox. You know, there shouldn't be communication throughout the club in my inbox. It should be some way to have a message board per se. You get what I mean? Or even on the forum, have your club have its own section on the forum. There's no way, there's like no open communication between me and the club members, which really sucks. Like, I can't tell which one of my, or if any of my club members are online and what they're doing and where they're racing. I can't see to say, okay, go join them. You know, that's really frustrating to me. But the club, at the very basis, the concept is dope. You know, XP earned counts toward the club's top score every week, and so on and so forth. So it was dope, but it wasn't delivered the best way possible. There's definitely some work needs to be done there. And given these guys' track record at Turn 10, I think they can tweak that over time. But yeah, Forza 5, man. I'm sorry, Forza Forza Horizon 2. I feel like this was one I didn't expect. My biggest thing about this game was if it didn't have tuning, I would have to ignore it, because the first one didn't have tuning and it was just silly. You know, you got these 500 horsepower cars and you can't tune them. It made no sense to me. But yeah, they covered all bases. They need to tweak a few things here and there, but this game is definitely really dope. And if I had to rate it, it gets a 4 out of 5. And interestingly enough, there's not a lot of hype around this, and I feel like there's this interesting pushback from the Forza 5 community where they're like, no, I'm not gonna play Forza Horizon. It's like, guys, you know, it's not like the arcade version of Forza. Like, it's Forza, you're just not on the track. And I feel like as Forza heads, like we've been for so many years, it's refreshing to race and haul ass with your same your known physics engine, you know, what you're familiar with, on anything but a track. Like, come on, guys, give it a try. I think everyone out there would love this game. There's a ton of people that have not been in racing games recently and just made the jump, and they're enjoying it. So come on over, guys. It's your boy Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace.